Hey guys, it's Joe, Weekend Analysis. This one's a little more of an overview. You see how the market has gone up for 10 months straight, 10 and a half months straight, and then in a couple of weeks, how it gives it all back? Think about it. What you've made for 10 months, you've probably, I don't know your numbers, but you may have given half of it back from 10 months in 10 days. And the problem is that I'm thinking could happen is that you get toward the end of the year, liquidity is going to dry up. So what happens if you have another wave on the downside? So what do you have? You have ripple effects. Some of the ripple effects of people that have made money in the big names. They made money in Amazon, made money in Google, made money in Apple, made money in Meta. And now as they turn and start to go lower, they are so far from their highs that all that money that was put into the different sectors, one of the biggest sectors was crypto. Okay, yeah. You tell me the last time you've heard something bearish about crypto. I can't remember. But what's going on now? The prices are forcing people out. One's a gauge, okay? Bitcoin, that's a staple. The other coins, the other ways of getting crypto exposure is starting to give way. So all the money that people had on paper gains are all back to start. Our gauge is some of the stocks, Mara, Riot, MSTR, which is very Bitcoin sensitive. Look at this stock. You tell me how comfortable you can be being long MSTR. Okay, this thing was $450. Summertime, you're down below 200, you're at 170, constantly going lower. The point I'm trying to make is you're going to get to a point where this can just extend just because of negative whip, natural liquidation, or people trying to trim. And what does this do? It's going to affect the price of all the crypto markets. So this can cause, if Bitcoin doesn't bounce well, Bitcoin was 120 a few weeks ago. Now it's trading in the 80s. If Bitcoin gets to in the 70s, maybe you get an extension into the 60s. Look where this goes. This is just the point I'm trying to make. The market that was taking money from other stocks and putting into these other sectors, uranium, lithium, rare earth, they're all giving it back. Plus, they're giving back on those big names. Crypto is an indicator we've been on for a while. We've been on crypto for about a month now saying, watch crypto because it's going to tell you a lot of the market that's going risk off. Well, what do we see this week? Risk off. So here's one of them. We're worried about the other ones now because it's just going to happen fast. Why? Because you're approaching the end of the year. So people now that were making money, now they got to pay attention. They're not making money. Now they're going to be paying attention to their taxes. Okay, December is a different way of trading. We trade the month of August and the month of December very differently. And if you don't make that adjustments, you're probably going to get hurt if it does happen. Okay, if you want to belong to our group, you watch the way we make adjustments. Okay, if the market's going to go down and you're a long trader, you got to control how much you're going to lose. This is the difference between having experience and having just getting in, okay? And you're seeing it now. Look at where you were. If you started trading the beginning of October or the first week or two of October, and look where you are now. You're talking about 4 or 5 weeks into it. You got to be down pretty significantly, a lot more than you ever expected. What's more important now, you're going to get uncomfortable. When you get uncomfortable, you get emotional. And you see moves like this, you wind up getting impulsive, or you start to panic a little, and that's what creates moves like this. So even though you may have a style, you may have a way that you want to trade, the price is going to influence you. It's going to spook you is the words we use, okay? So the price is going to take over your story. It's going to take over your mentality. So that's why you got to have a plan. You know what we've been saying as a group for the last few weeks? Don't be too heavy on anything. So you look at your portfolio and say, I have too much of this. If you said that 2 or 3 weeks ago, now you don't feel bad. Now you're fine. You're okay. The same way you make it up, you make it on the way down. But if you're heavy on something, then it starts to get impactive and it affects your whole portfolio. You still should be on that plan at least for the next week or 2 weeks. Don't be heavy on anything. Okay, you're going to go from how do I make back what I lost to you're going to get to a point you're going to say, how do I preserve what I got left? When it gets to that point, that's when you see this thing go straight down, same as other stocks. Please watch yourself. Please trade December a lot different than you've traded the last 4 or 5 months. We'll be back next week. We'll put more of these out, but you got to make some adjustments. If you don't, it's going to happen fast, and you're not going to know what happened. All right? Enjoy your Thanksgiving, and just watch yourself.